Hey everyone, I'm Alanah and welcome to my channel, where today we are talking about the news that Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed again. First up, there's construction nearby, so you might hear that. Second, I'm pretty late to getting to this news, a lot later than I usually am to stories like this, because I didn't have any interest in making a video about this. I wasn't on Twitter until way after the news came out today. I hadn't looked at social media until maybe 1 p.m. But when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, a news update. It's more the conversation surrounding the thing that I wanted to talk about. But, for anyone who missed the news, basically the Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account tweeted this statement today. So this is the statement they tweeted this morning for anyone who missed it. I don't think I need to read the whole thing necessarily. I can leave a link if you guys like, but basically says, hey everyone, today we've decided to move the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 by 21 days. The new release date is December 10th. Most likely there are many emotions and questions in your head, so first and foremost, please accept our humble apologies. And then they go on to basically talk about how they're having a challenge with trying to test all 9 versions of the game, because 9 platforms is a lot. It has to run on Xbox One/X, compatibility on the Xbox Series S/X, the PS4, PS4 Pro, the compatibility on PS5, PC, and Stadia, all while working from home. And then they do also elaborate here, which I really appreciated the transparency of, about how they said the game has gone gold, and that gone gold to a lot of people means that the game is ready or past certification, but basically their point is, well, no, we were still obviously working on a lot of things. This doesn't surprise me terribly, because, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm in the game, I need to give you that disclosure. Bias, etc. I'm also just very excited about it. I'm sitting in my Cyberpunk chair that CD Projekt Red employee hand delivered to my apartment. I've spoken to a lot of people on the dev team at CD Projekt or CD Projekt, and I very much get the impression that they really want this game to be perfect. I get the impression, again, that it mortifies them that they could release a game that isn't in line with the vision that they had set out to give this game, more so than any other dev team I've ever spoken to. So the delays don't surprise me, and this always comes back to the pressure of announcing release dates. I sort of just wish they never had in the first place. But generally, look, my stance on a delay and why I didn't feel the need to make this video until I saw some other stuff coming out around this, is that I'm pro delay. Make your game better. That's straight up. I get that it sucks for people who've planned vacations or schedules around a release date. At least they are giving us a significant amount of heads up. That is definitely unfortunate, but generally, I'm always going to say, yeah, delay the game to make it better. I can wait. I can 100% wait. One part of this that is a little bit sticky, before we sort of get to why I decided to make this video at all, here is that apparently CD Projekt Red devs didn't know until today, which I don't even know how that works internally. This is from Screen Rant. It says, it's been reported that developers in CD Projekt Red didn't know about the recent delay of Cyberpunk 2077 until the news went live on Twitter. The delay was announced earlier today on Twitter, having been pushed back to December 10th from an initially planned release in November. And I guess this is definitely a thing worth noting. Fans are understandably upset at the news, especially because CD Projekt Red repeatedly promised that the game would not be delayed again before its release. Industry-wide, I just wish that they wouldn't announce release dates until they know, and I know that that's really complicated for business reasons. For a publicly traded company like CD Projekt, it is especially complicated because you have investors that you have to answer to. You are on the stock market. They want a release date so they know when all of the money you've been spending on the thing is due to get returned. And it is more about giving those people a release date than it is about giving gamers a release date. So it's not like a dumb thing pulled out of thin air. It is a business requirement that is really unfortunate. But look, generally, I'm in support of a delay because I want a better game. The thing that's getting me about this one specifically, and is something that is complicated to talk about that I hope I don't phrase poorly, and I'm not going to show these messages because I don't really want to, drive any traffic to these people. So for anyone who doesn't know, the team has been crunching to work on Cyberpunk 2077. There has been crunch. It means they are basically admittedly overworking their staff to be able to get this game out. Crunch is, I want to say, an unfortunate reality of the games industry, but I feel like that sets it wrong. Crunch is not mandatory, and we definitely talk about crunch as though it is in the AAA gaming space, when in reality, it is poor time management and poor production. I don't mean time management in terms of the individual developers. I mean, it is literally on the heads of the producers and the people who are setting their goals for their teams to try to prevent crunch from day one, and the fact that it keeps happening means that these people, the people who are doing the planning of the time management, are making mistakes, not the devs. I don't buy that excuse, but I also know that it is extremely common. I know that it is, like, that's when I say a reality. I don't want to excuse it, but I recognize that it is something that is almost expected, which sucks and should not be the case. I can also say, as someone who has been in crunch, you know, games media absolutely has crunch as well, just nobody cares when it's media. Crunch is pretty broad in games, and I'm sure in other industries as well. Here's the thing that I have seen today that I take issue with. And maybe I'm, you know, a little bit too close to the source material. Not where CD Projekt Red is concerned. I've not spoken to any devs at CD Projekt Red about crunch, but I have spoken to people at other studios. We seem to have created this thing in video game culture where when the community finds out about crunch, and obviously a lot of people seem to have assumed that this news means that there will be more crunch for these developers, which is obviously very bad for their health. Certainly not something that I support. The attitude is one that I'm just finding very strange. Again, I don't want to show this on screen, so I'm just going to kind of talk around it, but I've seen just a lot of today, and I guess previously, fuck this studio and fuck everyone who works from them because they're crunching. It's very intense and very hateful. And some of it is explicitly directed at the development team who are working very hard to make a product. I have spoken to studios who have publicly had their working conditions outed, which they consider to be private information that they don't want the public to know. And when that happens, and the public turns on the entire studio, these people feel like all of their hard work is for nothing, and that even though they are going to continue working very hard, A, because they have to, which is a problem with crunch, and that's a whole thing, but B, in some cases, some of these people want to, and that is, you know, again, a very complicated discussion here that it's the manager's job to stop people from overworking. I get all of that. I'm not trying to dismiss it. Just trying to provide a different perspective from the one that I keep seeing, really. But just basically the attacks that get directed at developers who are already suffering are just very strange to me. Like, I literally saw someone say, fuck everyone who works at CD Projekt Red, it serves them right, or something like along those lines. Like, you're happy that they're crunching and you hate them for crunch. Attacking the entire studio over having a culture where they have potentially been forced to work hard is a very strange approach. You are taking people who are already in a difficult position, who probably work in the industry because they're passionate, because I promise people don't get into game dev for money. And that's just the weirdest part about what I've seen today. Like, I've seen people saying serves them right, or like, have fun crunching for another month. Like, what? Why are you attacking the developers for this? It's very odd and very aggressive. And I feel like the community in a lot of cases has taken this crunch conversation as a thing to get very angry at an entire studio for, rather than specifically trying to place blame on people in management when they're talking about it. And maybe that's because you don't know who the management teams are, or you don't know exactly who is at fault. It almost feels like in some cases when a story about crunch comes out, some smaller parts, of course this isn't everyone, of the games community, and in some cases even the people reporting on these kinds of things, are like happy about shitting all over the dev team. Like, it's just very strange. It feels like a haha, fucking game dev scum serves you right for having a studio. Like, what? This is my stance about this entire thing, is yes, delay the game, make a better game. Same token, my thoughts are not with the people like me who are very excited to play this game, who have to wait a little bit longer. My thoughts are with the dev team. I hope they are okay. I hope everyone is staying healthy and is staying positive despite the immense negative reaction to this news. I just want them to be all right and to not feel like they have even more pressure at the expense of a delay when, in theory, they also have internal pressure, you know? I support the team and would love to figure out a way that the public could do something about situations like crunch. Like, I don't know what the action plan I can take is. Because, you know, even the stance of, which I have discussed with some devs, again, nobody at CD Projekt Red, but the stance of, well, then I'm not buying the game if they crunch, just makes those people sad, because they're like, well, I worked so hard on this and now you're not buying it at all because of something that happened to the studio, even though, like, I really am proud of my work. it's very complicated and I don't know what to do, but I don't think, you know, yelling at game developers individually on Twitter or just throwing all of this negativity their way is ever going to be the right option. I do think it's good that we speak about crunch very negatively and that AAA studios are aware of that and are concerned about their crunch stories leaking or whatever else, because that is definitely a thing. That is public pressure about bad working conditions. It's just when it's directed specifically at an entire development team who are, I feel like, the people who are making the thing you're very excited about, who are the ones who are in the difficult position of potentially being overworked. Again, I don't know. I've not spoken to anyone on the team about this stuff. I just have noticed today a weird celebration from some parts of the community being like, haha, you were crunching and you had to delay anyway, go fuck yourselves, in a way that's just so... Why? You know? This video feels like a mess, but it is a difficult thing to talk about. Because again, I just want to say I fully don't support crunch. I don't want anyone to go through this, and my thoughts are with the team, and I just hope everyone's okay and that they know that there are, you know, people really excited about Cyberpunk like myself who are willing to wait pretty much forever. I would prefer they delayed the game longer, frankly. Like, delay it a year so that the team can finish making the game to their standards under the correct conditions. Alright, well, can't wait to read the comments on this one. I'm Alanah, I'll see you guys next time.